Hello Mzansi, you are listening to Farmers Inside Track, proudly brought to you by Food from Mzansi. Officially, this is the world's best podcast for 2024, as awarded by One IFRA, the global organization for the world's press, and I'm your host, Duncan Masua, and a warm welcome to you. Now, in this episode of our Meet the Farmer Mentor series, we introduce you to Tim Abaa, a visionary farmer and community leader dedicated to teaching people of all ages how to grow their own food and nourish their communities. Now, rooted in agroecology, bio-intensive agriculture and permaculture principles, Tim shares how he tackles the challenges of climate change while helping community gardens do the same. Tim, you and I have known about each other for, I think, about 2 years now via social media, and we've been meaning to finally have an interview. And I would say about 2 years later, we're finally having the conversation. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, and you, Duncan?
I'm doing very well, man. It's lovely to be able to chat with you. And I'm on our way to your area very soon, and I hope I'll be able to meet you in person.
That would be nice.
Yeah. You're quite well known on social media, Tim Abaa. But for those of us that may not have heard about your story, we're not well aware of your agricultural journey and what it is that you do. Tell us a bit about your farming enterprise and how you got started in farming.
Tim Abaa is based in Joburg South Orange Farm area. I usually call it the capital city of organic farming in Africa. Orange Farm is a land that is blessed with fertility, the climate, the topography and stuff, all good for farming. Then it bothers the mind, why do something else, not agriculture? I've always loved agriculture from a young age. So for me to find myself in Orange Farm, the climate, the conducive was the best environment for me to work on. Yeah, so there are so many farmers in Orange Farm who are doing what I can call hand-to-mouth type of farming, subsistence. It's not sustainable, and you and I, Duncan, know that one of the most abused words on this world is sustainability. We are good to clap and say sustainable, but our farming practices sustainable. Can they sustain the next generation of farmers or young people that we are bringing to this world? Then I say no. With my expertise, I can come up with the formal or informal training and add value to the existing farmers so that we can grow together as a society. So our journey started in 2012, whereby we started having our weekly visit. I started with 5 farmers, and up to date, I have done over 5,000 backyard food gardens in the Orange Farm area. So we are not limited to Orange Farm only, but across the provinces in the whole country. So my specific emphasis was on agroecology and biointensive agriculture. How do we promote farming with the limited resources that people got, especially people from township, people who will say they are poor, they rely on these social grants, people who live below the means of the normal wages, people who live on daily wages and stuff. So how do we bring that sustainability through agriculture? So we started a program on ECD kids, on teaching young kids 3 years old to 6 years old on the value of growing their own fresh organic vegetables from seeds, seedlings, flowers, and also addressing climate change. How do we teach young kids about the value of trees from that young age so that when they grow up in a food-conscious society? When teachers are teaching 1 + 1 mathematics, how do we bring agriculture in class? They know 1 + 1 carrot is 2 carrots. They know the color of the carrot. This is yellow spinach. This is beetroot. They also get to learn about the healthy benefits of vegetables, herbs, and all those things. So it was a very good program. We did well in Orange Farm. We did it in Alexandra. We did it in Joburg. We did it in Cape Town. It did wonders. Then I said, all right, Tim, after 15 years, these grade arts, they will be done with matric. What happened then? Then the issue of the youth now. We got so many youth. I call it an army of unemployed youth who are just loitering our streets. Some of them, they did matric, yet they could not be accommodated. So I say, you know what, let me come up with a program. I call it agripreneurship. We got entrepreneurs, we got tenderpreneurs, but we don't have agripreneurs. Who are these young people that are coming up with ideas in the agri space to try and transform the food system and also create a silent economy in agriculture in our townships? Because there are so many people selling spinach. What makes Njabulo unique in terms of agriculture? Njabulo must add value. How do we do agro-processing? How do I come up with my own liquid organic fertilizer that is able to service the needs of the farmer when it comes to pest and control? So these are young people who are integrating 3 things: they integrate technology, they integrate science, and they combine with traditional knowledge. And then we are a force in terms of addressing the issue, the challenges in farming in modern day in 2025.
So it's absolutely inspiring. And I love the work that you're doing with people in your community, but also in other parts of Gauteng and across South Africa. And we'll get a bit into the training a bit later. But I wanted to maybe understand, when you talk about bio-intensive agriculture, permaculture as well, how do you incorporate these elements into your farming enterprise?
So my philosophy is MSMP, minimum space, maximum production. As you know, our township don't have pieces of land. It's very limited. So the only way for us to survive and make a good and tangible living is to maximize the production, be it ideas, be it plants, be it herbs, from limited space we got. So on our farming enterprise, we keep pigeons. No one does pigeons. People take it as a hobby. We do rabbits, we do bees, we do chicken, all those things. We keep earthworm, we do vermiculture, we grow vegetables, we grow herbs, we got a nursery, we got an enterprise orchard. So all this place from a limited space, these are different forms of income. And when it comes to permaculture, people don't get it. Permaculture is not a form of farming. Permaculture is a design system that one employs on their farm to boost production. So how do we integrate all these types of design? How do we make soils to control soil erosion? How do we make soils to help maintain soil fertility? How do we design our landscape? How do we bring food forest into the mix through designs? How do we design such that our enterprise, we can harvest rainwater, package it, use it, all those things. So these are all these conservation techniques that will help boost our production from our limited resources.
I suppose these practices that you implement on the farm also helps you to dealing with climate change. Take us through the climate smart farming techniques that you have implemented on your farm, but also that you recommend to others as well.
One of the key challenges that farmers are facing, and they will forever face, not unless there's tangible and drastic measures put in place, is climate change. Climate change is real. We can now see that it's only now that we are getting rains, and this will affect productivity in terms of harvest and stuff. But how can farmers help mitigate climate change? There are plants that are always good carbon sequestrators. Plants like spekboom. Spekboom are the best plant that one must have on your farming environment. Imagine if, Duncan, you and I, on our farm or gardens, if you and I, we had fruit trees that we have planted 5, 10 in our garden, your next door neighbor got 10 fruit trees. So Tim will have a small microclimate on his own environment. You got your own micro, someone got micro. These small microclimates together, they come and form a macroclimate. And that's how we try to transform our climates within our communities. Our farming techniques, they must be eco-friendly. How do we create all these natural ecosystems that are promoting a holistic and symbiotic type of relationship within our farms? Food forest is number one. A food forest must be holistic. You got herbs, you got edible flowers, you got all these things. It's plants that work in harmony with nature. How do we use all these resources at our disposal to make sure that our environment is eco-friendly, and we try to avoid the usage of chemical? We practice organic farming. So we are trying to come up with these organic practices like compounded planting, crop rotation, and all those that will in time help address our soil.
And of course, with these practices, there are challenges as well, Tim. What are some of the challenges that you face in terms of implementing climate smart farming practices? How do you overcome them, if at all?
One of the biggest problems, if you start, Duncan, a business, it will take time before you get it right or you break it even. So on the early days, lack of these resources, like let's say you want to do mulching. Most of the schools, they cut grass. When you want to go and fetch that grass, people burn them. People don't understand the value of mulching in terms of our farming enterprises. Number two, lack of resources. So let's say you want to do like hydroponic farming. Hydroponic farming is whereby now you are trying to bring this technology of modern farming into your farming system. Load shedding. Electricity is one of the resources that we use on our farms to pump water. So if there's a load shedding now, productivity is affected. If you got aquaponics on the side, without water being pumped, the whole system is dead. And imagine how much losses one can incur, because this system, they are very expensive to start with, but in the process, they are cheaper to maintain. But now when the key energy sources are affected, it becomes a challenge. And when you want to go solar Solars are expensive to start with, and it takes time before someone can get enough capital to install solars on the farm. The other part is theft. Theft is very right. Imagine you spend on all these pumps, you invest in all these solars, and then overnight they are stolen. It takes you back. If you got a borehole without electricity, it can't pump. So the farming operation, they are disrupted. And also lack of support and funding from government and private sector, it's always a challenge. So it's all about someone working within their means.
Most definitely. Tim, another aspect to you is, of course, the training academy that you have. Tell us a bit about that, and when exactly did you start venturing out on your own?
So we have been training for a while for some companies, organizations. Then we said, no, this is not sustainable. What if we start our own training academy whereby, because people's environment, people's facilities got their own red tape. Someone will say, guys, you can't teach about beekeeping here. You can't keep bees here because it's not safe. There's the myth that bees will sting people. You can't keep chicken because there's phobia for chicken and stuff. So it becomes a challenge because Tim is a holistic farmer. Then we said, no, let's go all out and start our own training academy. Then that's when we launched last year formally. Then it got registered and then it's accredited by AgriCita. And then, so last year we had over 200 farmers that we trained in Orange Farm. So our training academy caters for 3 types of people in the society. The ECD kids, primary high school learners, and then we got the youth. We also got varsity students who come to do their research, their masters, their honors, and then we got community members who are from 40 years old, our oldest learner being 103 years old pensioners. These are farmers within the community that we try to capacitate in terms of skills, knowledge. But also, these elderly people, they also got skills. They also got traditional knowledge that they used back in the day. So they come together, integrate with the youth. They share how they used to do control, do all these practices. Then the young people are also bringing technology now, innovation, and sharing with the elderly on how to address some of things like irrigation. How can you make your irrigation work through technology? How can you tell that your soil needs compost on time and all those things?
It sounds impressive. I'm just thinking, what do you teach a 100-plus-year-old student?
Life is amazing. Everyone on this world is a blessing. They say there is no expiry date for anyone who wants to learn. 100 years old, from my experience, they are more energetic, more eager to learn than our youth, because our youth, once they do matric, they say, oh, I'm done with school now, I'm ready to go and work. 100-year-old, they want to learn. I'm telling you, in between their growth journey, some of them were not exposed to this, like herbs. There are so many medicinal herbs that can help. As you know, most of our elderly are suffering from chronic diseases. Some of them suffering from obesity. So when we do these classes, teach them, we also do agro-processing. Like now in Orange Farm, it's a season for harvesting peaches. Most of these people got so many peach in the yard. So the peach are being left there. They don't see any value from them. But when we put them in class, say, guys, you can make your own apricot jam. You can make your peach jam. You can make your own peach juice and all those things. They are coming to learn about agro-processing. How do you turn mint into a cough syrup? It's like a hub of activities. Also learning, at the same time, they are sharing knowledge. So it's a each one, teach one situation.
Absolutely inspiring work that you're doing over there, Tim. What advice would you give to the aspiring young farmer or agripreneur who wants to enter the agricultural sector and contribute in a sustainable way? What is your message to them?
Once in your life, you need a teacher. Once in your life, you need a lawyer. When you're arrested, he can be a good witness for you there. Once in your life, you need a preacher when you want to go from the ashes to the ashes. But every day, you need a farmer. It's a pity that it's only 5% of our black youth take agriculture as a career. So many people are being brainwashed to go for this white-collar job. They suffer in those environments. Agriculture is nice. Agriculture rewards handsomely. Agriculture, there is no retirement age. Duncan, you are a teacher, you're a policeman. When you go 65, 60 years old, you must retire. I'm on my deathbed telling my farmers, you can do farming from your deathbed. There's no retirement. The only time you retire is when you go back to the earth 6 feet under and you don't retire, you still become compost to nurture other people and make the soil to be fertile. Agriculture is nice, but don't rush to agriculture. First thing, go do research. Visit 3 types of farmers. The one who is failing, get to understand what he's doing wrong. The farmer who is just there in the mid, hand-to-mouth type of farming. And visit these commercial and successful farmers. You will learn from them. The second part is go and book yourself a lesson and learn, attend workshops in class. Network as much as you can, because some people, they come up with their own pension, they burn their fingers. They think that farming is about money. No, go and learn, do research. What do I want to focus on? What are my strengths? What do I need? Go and get to like-minded people, learn, and then focus on what will give you a niche in the market. What value proposition are you offering? Don't just grow spinach. What are you going to focus on? You want to do breeding. We need people who want to do seeds production. We need people who want to focus on our soil fertility, who will supply us compost, who will come and test our soil, such feed. So it's about you doing research, but agriculture is nice. There's a career, there's life, and I'm promoting agriculture. That's why I start with 3 years old. When they grow up, they must have that appetite, the urgency of them being farmers.
Absolutely love it, Tim. Apparently, the thing about agriculture is if you work in the agricultural space, the day you die, Tim, you come back as your favorite crop or your favorite animal. I'm not sure if you've heard this.
True.
A final question to you. It sounds like you've achieved quite a lot in your agricultural career. What are your plans going forward? Any expansion plans? Anything that we can look forward to from you?
As we grow, Duncan, we are the kind of people that want to share knowledge freely because we don't know when we drop dead. And I can't just say that my services will be needed in Orange Farm only. So we are expanding this year. We are in Northwest, we'll be in Free State, and God willing, also KZN. So we are trying to penetrate these other provinces and plant a seed of Tim on each and every community there. If people learn from Tim, then they go and plant a seed of Tim on other people. So we are growing as a society and as a movement. But also, Africa is calling. We will be in Swaziland, we'll be in Egypt and Morocco this year for more training, more conference, and all these things. All I'm saying is there's possibility of us touching more lives of people out there, but the only hindrance is that we don't have funding, we don't have support. But who knows, 2025 is still early, it's January. Let's not complain, and we are very positive that this year we'll turn more lives, we'll bring more people on the food chain and turn this into a hub of knowledge and skills and transform our food system.
That was, of course, Tim Abaa, a visionary farmer and community leader based in Gauteng. You can, of course, read more on this topic by visiting www.foodfromzansi.co.za. Remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. From me, Duncan Masiwa, our technical producer, Megan van der Vent, and the rest of #Team Food from Mzansi, thanks for listening.
Africa's dopest gathering for young farmers is back. Don't miss your chance to join the who's who of agriculture, from top-tier experts to game-changing farmers, at the Mzansi Young Farmers Indaba on the 1st and 2nd April 2025 in Pretoria. Early bird tickets are now available, so head to farmingindaba.com to get your full access pass for a discounted price. That's farmingindaba.com for early bird access to a full access pass. Don't miss out.